So today, I want to talk about Captain America, the First Avenger. The first movie in the Captain America franchise. Brave New World is coming out soon, and I want to see if this movie still holds up. This movie has a lot of cool things going for it that I noticed looking back at it. Like, I love how they depict Captain America. It starts out as this scrawny, weak, little weird, enthusiastic guy, and all he does is just change appearance, but he stays the same. And I love the lesson they have with Captain America, and I think everyone does, about him just being a good man. And I love how this message is repeated throughout the movie and throughout the rest of the franchise. And they do a good job at depicting how he gets there and what he's like, and how even though times get tough, he stays this way.
Do you want to kill Nazis?
I don't want to kill anyone. I don't like bullies. I don't care where they're from.
This movie has a lot of cool lessons like this that I really appreciate, and as much as I hope Captain America 4 will have lessons like this, I really don't think these lessons will be that deep.
Terrorists only set us back a bit.
You have to stop calling them.
Like, they spend time having long conversations about what it means to be a good person.
Because a strong man who has known power all his life may lose respect for that power. But a weak man knows the value of strength and knows compassion.
And I really don't think Captain America 4 is going to sit down and have a conversation about what it means to be a good person.
You've got to do better, Senator.
And this is really shown by when Stanley Tucci dies. As he's dying, he just points at him in the chest. And you don't need to know what he's saying because you already know what he's talking about from earlier.
Not a perfect soldier, but a good man.
And that's just very subtle and very, very cool. It also has one of the top 5 Stan Lee cameos.
Captain, that's your cue.
I thought he'd be taller.
That's pretty cool. It stars, of course, Chris Evans as Captain America, and he is amazing. Really, really, really good. And it's such a surprise and such a shock because this isn't really who Chris Evans is as a person. If you watch him in anything else, or his behind the scenes stuff, or just him in normal life, he does not act like this. He acts a lot more like his Fantastic Four character.
I don't even know what half of that means.
So he's a really good actor because he is not being himself. Hugo Weaving's in this, and he is so good. He plays a proper supervillain. He is just evil at times, and his acting is really good. He feels a lot like Darth Vader in this, and I don't think he gets enough praise for his work. I wish he would have been in more Marvel movies, but I get it. And you have a wonderful cast of characters here as well, from Stanley Tucci as the German scientist guy, and he kills it. So funny. His lines are so funny.
All right, we'll drink it after.
No, I don't have procedure tomorrow. Drink it after, drink it now.
You got Hayley Atwell as Peggy Carter, and actually I don't really like her performance as much as in the later movies, but in this one it's really good. I'm really invested in Agent Carter and her story, and she's very charismatic. Definitely adds a lot of depth to Captain America as a person, as she wasn't really somebody in the original comics. You got Bucky Barnes, of course, Sebastian Stan playing Bucky Barnes, and he does a great job as well. And then of course you got Tommy Lee Jones as Colonel Phillips. And then you have just a really great cast of other characters, and everyone's acting their pants off in this. Even just simple lines.
What are we taking, everybody?
I'm from Fresno, Ace.
I'm in. The cast is picked out really well, and they're so enjoyable and likable. And I wish a lot of these people would have stuck around for more Marvel movies.
You know how to use that thing?
The director of this movie is Joe Johnston, and he's famously known for doing Jumanji, and he does October Sky, which are both great, great movies. And he's known for being super creative in his movies and just doing an all-around good job. Joe Johnston knows how to direct, and he kills it here as well. I don't think he gets enough credit for his work in this. Dude, the "I'm not gonna kiss you" line.
I'm not kissing you.
This is the best line in the whole movie. It's clever.
Hey, Captain! Sign this!
Is the second funniest joke, okay? Oh, and you have the smiling cat meme. That's an original. I like how this movie also does a good job at showing just how complicated World War II is at this time, and how it's not black and white, Hitler bad, United States good. There's a lot more complications to this.
You know, after the last war, the
My people struggled. So many people forget that the first country the Nazis invaded was their own.
And that's what great movies do, is try to take things from the past and show you how this could possibly impact you today. And that's just wonderful writing. And it does the World War II stuff very well, of living in New York and going to Germany. It feels old and right for the time. It kind of gets you like excited to live in that time period, but also understand the harsh reality of living then. Something I enjoy from this is that people actually die here. It's cool to watch people die in horrible ways. I've been so numb to these new Marvel movies. It was nice to see people die, because they don't do that anymore. This movie's very creative and different, and not normal. There's a lot of risks being taken, and I feel like Marvel movies today really don't do that as much. They have a whole system for how they make their movies. It's already planned out years in advance. They already have the fights choreographed years in advance, and this was just a lot of risks taken, and it paid off really well. And that's so cool, because Marvel took some risks, and sometimes it didn't pay off. We've seen it before, but this one did. And I wish Marvel would take more risks today like this, because I know they would see a lot more success and a lot more love from the fans. I love the part where it goes from like the funny, silly singing montage of Captain America being happy and awesome to like dirty Europe, and it's like disgusting and all the soldiers are like dead. Everyone's depressed. It's really hard to tell a story about a comic book character and try to ground it in reality. And it just really shows that this movie knows how to navigate a very campy comic book tone to a very serious, gritty war story. And it manages to ride this line very well. I have never seen this done before, and I don't think I've seen it since. Because it does this, it manages to tell the story of Captain America perfectly. It feels kind of historically accurate. I feel like I'm in something that would have actually happened. It's nice to see something that isn't like, remember the black women lesbian bombers who were in World War II? You remember them? I'm not getting an agenda shoved down my throat. And you can see the early tying in of the Marvel Universe beginning here. They're trying to get some things set up, and it isn't pushy, and it doesn't drag on the story. You don't even notice these things building up. Very thoughtful and very thought through, and I wish we would see this more from the Marvel Universe today. When he picks up the car door and uses it as a shield, and they have like, oh, this is like his first shield that he ever had, and kind of made him turn into Captain America. It does this very subtly. After Captain America's been disappointed trying to do his show for the troops, he just sits down and draws a monkey, and it's like, whoa, Captain America can draw? Where did this come from, and why don't we see this sense? And it just gives a little bit more depth to the character. Yeah, he isn't just a bunch of muscles, he can do other things too. Oh, also, I love the part when he just totally looks at her boobs, like, whoa, I don't remember that part. I've seen this maybe 6 or 7 times, and I've never seen that once. If you look away for 1 minute, he does it. Crazy. He is a straight man. Captain America is a straight man. You cannot prove me wrong. Also, when he walks in, most of the time his Captain America theme is playing, and it goes so hard. Didn't remember that, but it does. Very cool. And I really like the part when he just tries to get totally wasted and he can't.
This serum wouldn't just affect my muscles, it would affect my cells, which means, I can't get drunk.
And it like should be funny in a normal Marvel movie, but here it's just depressing as crap. It actually made me depressed. It's very cool. Hey, last thing, this got the best Captain America suit. You really can't change my mind on this one. It's the best one because it's tactical and useful. It's got the belt with the pouches, kind of like a parachute sort of situation thing going. Very cool, very tactical. And you know what? I think that's it. This is a super underrated movie. I love getting to watch this movie every time. And if you get the chance, definitely watch it again. You will love it, and it will remind you why you love Marvel movies so much. Hopefully, the Captain America Brave New World team watch this as well. We're able to learn some stuff from this, but probably not. We'll see. If I had to rate this movie, I would give it like a 9.2 out of 10. Looking back at this, the storytelling is great. The cinematography is amazing. The actors are all killing it. The visual effects are all pretty stunning. All around, this movie is just stunning. It's not much more complicated than that. I enjoyed this movie a lot, actually. It's one of my favorite movies personally because I love Captain America, but I understand why people don't like it as much. It's a great movie, but it really isn't anything more than that. It's not perfect, but it is a great time. This is an easy movie just to turn on and watch in your basement, and sometimes that's hard to find these days. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out, and I think that's everything.
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I had a date.